I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they are silly, and that leads to a play action sack. It's taken to the 26. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. 60 or. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, defense.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And some space here. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 20, he rifles one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll wind up with 7 on the dump-off, but it'll set up third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. James Washington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
70, Indy. 53, Mike, 53.
They start the drive with Cook. And an alley to run. A big play there out of Cook. 71 yards.
Let's go.
So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down the one. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown, we saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and for them a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Saquon Barkley. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
All day, baby. All day.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at his 4th.
Check 53. Check back.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball.
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Barlow. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. On 1st and 10, Barlow. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action. Barlow. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game, 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be... Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jerome Baker, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now a run with Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. 2nd and 1. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back to throw. Barlow got his man complete over the middle. It's Shaw. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Barlow. He gets it to Brown. Complete. 33 yards that time.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler as a rookie, there to bat that one away. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being at a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From a yard out, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Let's go. Let's go.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Barlow. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Off the play fake. Barlow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Barlow. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressive. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So we have come to well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the 2nd half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Here we go. 70, Indy.
Again, it's Cook. And all the way inside the Oakland 20 into the red zone. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders 15. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Looking to throw. Barlow. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. For those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
We got this.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson, and it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because...
And now look at him go. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Back to throw. Barlow. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Off-play action. Barlow. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Barlow. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Barlow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Being chased out left. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Looking to throw. Barlow. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll go to Barkley again, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the 4th quarter still to come. We're in the 3rd. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never let
Cook strip. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Jackson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Cliff Kingsbury here on 4th down trots out the field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this Browns defense stands tall. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number.
And the Raiders have got him. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the bootleg. Barlow. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Cleveland Farrell able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. First target, first catch, and a first down. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, couldn't. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 2. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on second down. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That one looks like he'll throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Off the play fake. Barlow. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
On 4th down, Barlow. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Barlow. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami. The Bills, they are just continuing to pour it on. Alvin Kamara, a touchdown run to help lead the way.
I'm here all day. Ready?
On 1st down, Barlow towards the end zone for Brown. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down again. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defense